News Now is brought to you by the Bank of Guam, the People's Bank, Docomo Pacific, island-wide, worldwide, the choice is clear. And Micronesia Renewable Energy. Go solar for zero money down. From the Pacific News Center in Hagåtña, Guam, here's Clint Ridgell and Janella Carrera with Betsy Brown and Roselle Romanes. PNC Sports with Blake Watson and Weather with Rebecca Kim. With your news now.
Half a day and happy Thanksgiving. I'm Clint Ridgell and you're watching PNC's News Now. Well, it's been almost 2 weeks since Isaac James was found dead along an access road in the Tangisan area, and police are still looking for the public's help in solving his homicide. An autopsy determined that 29-year-old James died of blunt force trauma. He was last reported seen near the Asen Beach Mart on Wednesday, November the 12th. Police are now trying to determine where he went between then and when his body was found on Friday morning, November the 14th. GPD Supervisory Agent Alan Guzman says any information, even if it seems insignificant, is valuable to police.
We're finding it a difficult issue where people are not apparently giving us a call so we can follow up on this case. It's still ongoing, and we're still trying to get witnesses or anybody that has no information regarding the whereabouts or the time span that would lead to the day that he was discovered, and that was on Friday morning. So anything between Wednesday to Friday morning, if they have any information that they've seen or know about of Isaac, that please give us a call.
James was last seen wearing a black dethroned t-shirt and blue shorts. If you have any information on this case, you're asked to call Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-HELP. The Guam Police Department is actively investigating a video circulating online that shows a Caucasian man getting knocked out cold, presumably by a local man. It appeared to take place at the stairwell that leads up to the Vikings and Club Hannah in Tumon. GPD spokesman officer AJ Balahaja says police received a copy of the video a few weeks ago, but no one has come forward to file a complaint. He also says that GPD has not received any complaints or notifications from hospitals treating any assault victims. Balahaja says rumors have been spreading about the man seen punching the victim and about the victim himself, but nothing has been verified. If you have any information about the individuals in this video, you're asked to contact Crime Stoppers at 477-HELP. The new hospital's announcement that there's been a delay in their opening could lead to other concerns for the Guam Regional Medical Cities Management. Chief Operating Officer Gloria Long acknowledges these issues, but says it's to be expected. PNC's Janella Carrera reports.
Guam Regional Medical City Chief Operating Officer Gloria Long says they hope to open at the first quarter of 2015, but at this point, there's no definite date. The announcement comes just 2 months after Long announced that GRMC was slated to open by the end of this year.
The biggest part is we've been informed by our construction company that there is a delay, and so we of course have to wait for them to finish. We're waiting with bated breath.
There are many factors that have contributed to the delay, says Long. Among them are weather challenges and changes in building plans.
I'll give you an example. It took 2 weeks to pave the parking for the CUP, our central utility plant. They waited every single day to try and pave, and every single day it rained. We decided to add the cath lab. It wasn't a part of the original intent of the design, and we added it because we had space for future expansion. When we added that piece of equipment, we had to change the medical gas lines, we had to change the air conditioning, we had to change the electricity.
But because GRMC has already hired employees and recruited some doctors from off-island, Long says these delays have affected them financially.
So there is some financial impact. Of course, we hired at the beginning of this month quite a few people, and we have staff that are now training in a warehouse. But we look at it as an opportunity to really fine-tune our training before the hospital opens. So on the one hand, we have a little bit of disappointment, But on the other hand, we're excited that we have more time to develop our skills.
While doctors wait to begin working at the new hospital, Long says they're keeping busy at the GRMC clinic, where physicians have been seeing patients regularly.
We have been seeing quite a few referrals, a lot for cardiology and orthopedics in particular. And so those doctors have been keeping very busy. And we are also looking to have some of our other doctors assist GMH in various projects. They're getting ready to open their urgent care. One of our urgent care doctors, we hope will be working there with them as well.
But overall, says Long, despite some speculation, the delay will not force the company to have to make any cuts.
When you build a project this size, you have to expect delays. There's just no way. There's always going to be some change.
Janella Carrera, PNC News.
The Guam Election Commission is required by law to publish each and every write-in that is received. Write-ins run the gamut from actual candidates to the utterly absurd. Here's a look at some of the people, fictional or not, that Guam voters wrote in for 2014.
It may seem like a waste of time counting write-in candidates, but it's required by law, and it's actually an integral part of the voting process. Why? Because it demonstrates voter dissatisfaction with the current crop of candidates. There were a total of 902 write-ins in the 2014 general election. Here is a look at some of the more notable write-ins for governor and lieutenant governor. Some people wrote in current senators like Frank Ogun Jr. and Tommy Morrison. Others wanted to make a statement, like the person who voted for ABC or any better candidate. Some voted for candidates who they'd like to see run, like Victoria Lola Leon Guerrero and Melvin Juanpat Borja, attorneys Julian Uggan and Levin Camacho, or Kaleo Moylan and James Espaldon. There were some ridiculous pairings like Archbishop Apron and Tim Rohr. And then there were the fictional characters like the team of Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, Optimus Prime and Shia LaBeouf, or even Master Yoda himself. There were even more write-ins for senator. Romeo Carlos garnered the most write-ins for senator with over 200 votes if you count both the Republican and Democrat sides of the ballot. Carlos was a candidate for senator who was eliminated in the primary election. Others wrote in actual senators like Tom Atta, Frank Bloss Jr., Brant McCready, Mike Limtiaco, and the late Senator Ben Pangilinan, among others. Then there were write-ins for people who aren't senators but are known for being in the news or simply known in the community, like Drs. Tom Shea and Vince Akamoto, UOG professor Dr. Michael Lujan Bavacqua, attorney John Terlahi, local singer-songwriter Rachel Estevez, radio personality Rick Nauta and his wife Rita, and K57's very own Ray Gibson. Then there were the famous fictional and ridiculous, like Bruno Mars, the Blue Power Ranger, Mickey Mouse, Mr. T, Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr, and even the Word of John.
Many of these write-ins may seem like a waste of a vote, but at least the person voted. And although he or she may have picked a fictional character, it is a way of voting and making a statement that the voter didn't like the candidates he or she had to choose from. All right, now let's find out what's going on in the world of sports with PNC's Blake, who's barely awake.
So, they got me out of bed today to do a sports report on Thanksgiving. So, the least you could do is join me, right? I mean, I got out of bed, so you should be there too, right? Yeah, sports coming up very soon.